Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So have you ever felt overwhelmed by bunch of if-else statements stacked one after the other? Well, what if I told you there is a cleaner, faster and more organized way to handle multiple choices in Java? Say hello to the switch statements. The switch is like a smart traffic controller. It takes a single value and instantly directs your code to the right block based on different cases. Whether you are building a calculator, menu system or game logic, switch keeps your code clean, readable and efficient. So no more messy if-else ladders with switch. You write once and let Java do the thinking. Stick around and I will show you how to use it like a pro. So let's switch things up, and we need to understand that what are switch statements in Java. In this video I will be explaining all the thing about that. So remember to hit a like to this video, and if you are new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I will be uploading in future. And share this video as well so more people can understand how we can cover up these things using different languages. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's dive into it. Alright, so we are on the computer screen, and like I've told you in the start that today in this video we will be working on switch statements in Java. So first of all we need to understand that basically what is switch statements and how we can work on that. So if we talk about switch statements here, so instead of writing many if-else statements you can use switch statement. The switch statement selects one of many code blocks to be executed, which is really important, so I will be highlighting this line here. So it means that switch statement selects one of many code, and it can be block of code which you are writing. It can be any else statement. It can be if a statement, like if I'm writing one condition, if my if statement, so that condition will be select by switch statement, so that I can select that switch statement with one of many code block and I can execute that code. So you can just say instead of writing many if-else statement you can use the switch statement if you don't want to write many if-else statement, because if you start writing if-else statement, so you need to create if statement first, then after that you need to create if-else statement, and then in the last you need to create else statement, so it will take too much time. So if you want to save your time, if you want to do your work in short time, so for that you can use switch statement there. So how we can use switch statement, there is an example given here. Like first of all you need to use switch here, and after that you need to create a bracket like we create an if statement, and then we have to write expression under this bracket or in this bracket. You can also use if statement here, but as you know if statement will be a really different thing, because if you want to do your work in short time, so we need to use switch statement there as we are doing here in this example. Like we are creating a switch tag here, and after that I am creating a bracket in which I am writing expression. After writing expression I will be creating curly braces, and then we need to create 3 cases here. You can create 3 to 2 cases. I have created 2 cases here, and the last value is default. Now we need to understand why these things we are writing in our switch statement. But before that I will be opening my NetBeans IDE so that I can show all the codes in my NetBeans IDE and show you that if we are running these codes in our Java file, so what's the output we are getting there. So it will be taking some time to open your NetBeans IDE, and remember when you're using this IDE, so you need to use the latest version 8.0.2 which I am using, in which you will be having all the things which a Java programmer should be needed here. So now this will be having a start page. We need to close it and you need to create a main.java file, but already we have created it in the previous videos, so we don't need to create it again, and I will be using same file here. I will be just moving down and then moving on to my Word document. I will be just first of all explaining you that why we are using this switch statement with expression and these cases, and lastly why we are using this default value in this switch statement. So thing is that now we need to understand how these things works. The switch expression is evaluated once. The switch expression which we are writing here in this bracket will be evaluated once. The value of the expression is compared with the value of each case. If there is a match, the associated block of code is executed, and the break and default keywords are optional and will be described later in this chapter. So it is just saying me that you can just say these things are saying me the switch expression is evaluated once. Like if I'm using switch statement and I'm using expression there, so this expression will be evaluated only once in this bracket. and after that the value of expression which you are comparing here will be value of each case which you are writing. Like the cases I am writing case X, case Y, so these values will be compared by the expression here, and if there is a match, means after comparing these values, if they found a match here, so the associated block of code will be executed here. And the break and default keywords like this keyword, default keyword, which we are writing in the end after these cases, are optional, and it will be described later moving forward. Means you can just say default, and one other keyword which we use in switch statement is break. So these are not really important keywords, these are optional things, so we don't need to understand many things about these keywords here. So now we need to understand, if we are just using this switch statement here with expression, with cases, and with these default or break values, so how we are using it and how we are getting output. So this is the example in which we have written switch statement, and switch statement is written by day, and in day I have written my expression as 4. So 4 will be my expression in switch value. Then I have created 2 cases here, but you can just see we have created 5, 6, 7 cases here in this switch statement to check what output we are getting here. So I will be just copying this example now, and I will be pasting it in this file, in my Java file, and I will be pressing tab so that I can make all the things in one line, and I should not get any space after that. That's why I will be taking all the things like this. So you need to make it here, and I hope you understand how we are doing it. So simply I will be doing same thing here as well. System, then I will be moving forward. You can directly, or you don't need to do these all things, you can just directly run it, you will be getting the output. But if you want that your code should be clean enough, so you can just press tab and you can give spaces here if you want to. Then I will be running this file, and for running you can just right click on your main.java file and press run file here. After pressing run file, you will be seeing the output we are getting is Thursday. Why we are getting this Thursday as an output? Because if I show you at the top, we have written integer day equal to 4, means we want this 4 day should be printed here. And then if we see in case 4, the case 4 is printed Thursday, the case 4 is printing Thursday. This is the text which is case 4 is printing. So I have written in my integer variable, means in the integer day variable, I have written 4. So I want this case 4 should be executed in my output. So that's why when I'm writing this 4 here, and when I'm writing this day in my switch statement, so this case 4 is being executed, and in case 4 the value we have written is Thursday. That's why in the output we are only getting Thursday printed. If I just remove this 4 and if I write 5 in the place of it, now the value will be changed, and now this case 4 will be not executed. In the place of it, this case 5 will be executed, and you will be getting Friday in your output. If I show you by running it, you can just see we are getting Friday in the output, and like this you can just use all these things and you can get the output. So I hope you understand how we are just using these examples here of switch statements, and how we are getting all the case here printed, and how we can just print all the cases together. And that's the thing, that how you can just do that. Moving on to my Word document, now we can just work on break keyword as well. But as I told you, break and default keywords are optional things, but we need to understand if we are working on switch statement, because this is also not a really important thing, but a thing which a beginner should be understanding if they are starting with switch statement, so that they should not have any confusion about that. So if we talk about break keyword, so when Java reaches a break keyword, it breaks out of the switch block. This will stop the execution of more code and case testing inside the block. When a match is found and the job is done, it's time for a break. There is no need for more testing. A break can save a lot of execution time because it ignores the execution of all of the rest of the code in the switch block. So it is just saying me that the break keyword which you normally use in your switch statement, it breaks out of the switch block. Like if you are creating one case value, like if I have created 7 cases in this switch statement and I am writing this break here, where I am writing this break so that I can just break all these statements with the different cases which I have created. Because if I don't use this break, so this case will be executed as case 4 this Friday as well. So we need to break the cases. That's why I am writing this break value, so that I can break all the cases and I can create different values, and I can get output as I want when I'm executing the values in my switch statements. And that's why we use this break keyword. In short words, you can say the break keyword is used to break out of the switch block. Then if we talk about default keyword, so the default keyword specifies some code to run if there is no case match. If you don't found any case match, So you can specify default keyword there. So when you will be running the code, you will be not getting any case match here. Here is an example how you can use this default keyword here. We have already understand how we can use this break keyword and how we are breaking all the cases with each other. So now we need to understand if we are using this value, which is default keyword, so how we are using it and how we are getting the output. I will be running this file by pressing run file, and after run file you can just see the output we are getting is looking forward to the weekend. Why we are getting this output? Because I want that this should be printed, the default value, and when I'm printing this, so only this text is coming, not these two things in which I have written today is Saturday and case 7 as today is Sunday. We are not getting these things printed because I have changed the value and I am using default keyword here. And when you are using default keyword, so defaultly it will show you all the other text which you are printing. Like I'm running it again and again, I am only getting one text printed, looking forward to the weekend, because it is a default keyword. And when you write anything in default keyword, only that will be executed, not the other things which you are writing in your switch statement. It can be case, it can be any other statement as well which you are using. So I hope you understand how we can use these keywords like default and break keywords in switch statements and how we can get different outputs. So note is written here is that, note that if the default statement is used as the last statement in a switch block, it does not need a break. It is just saying me that if you're using this default keyword at the last of your switch statement, so it will not need any break here, like the break which you are writing here. It will not need any break if you just use this default keyword in last. Like if I have used here, so I'm not writing any break value here to break this because I'm not writing anything after that. That's the reason. So I hope you understand how we are using this break and default keyword here in switch statements, and normally how we use switch statements with different cases and how we are getting the output here. So if you have understand this video and if you understand that how we can use switch statements in Java, so remember to hit a like to this amazing video, and if you are new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell as well, so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I will be uploading in future. So just I will be meeting you in next video or in next tutorial using Java. So for today, goodbye.